So welcome back to Oath Garden. We are making our bouquet into a flower based arrangement. So if you haven't watched the video of the bouquet, folks, go ahead and check that out. There is a devotion along with it. This one's gonna be somewhat of a devotion too, and we're still gonna be talking about peace, obviously. Just note, if you guys can see the table, note that it's too tall, right? We're gonna make a smaller arrangement. So the original bouquet size is actually too tall. So you're gonna always need clippers when you're trying to transfer a bouquet, at least our Oath Garden Flower Shop bouquets, into the vase, okay? Worldly peace is control, plan, prepare, right? It's all in your hands. All of those are practical. I'm not saying no, 100%. But there's something so interesting about surrendering. Because at Oath Garden Flower Shop, we do actually fluff out those sides, but we normally don't give you a pre-arranged, already in a vase flower arrangement because you technically always get less flowers. So we always do free bouquets because that way you have more flowers. And that way, if you collect vases and if you have a couple of vases inside your house, you can always do two bouquets. I don't think people really realize that we did that on purpose. This bouquet can actually be split into two arrangements, and that's why we make them a little bit bigger than the normal ones, because if you see, I actually still have a lot of flowers left, but our vase is already taken up. So see, Jesus promises his followers a different kind of peace, not temporary or circumstantial, but eternal, right? And rooted in him. Unlike worldly peace, it remains even in storms, because remember, worldly peace always flakes when tragedies arise or when something happens, right? You're no longer at peace because you might be in a situation that's definitely not peaceful. But that's not what God is giving us. Philippians 4:6-7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ." Peace is not the absence of the problem, right? But God's supernatural gift that steadies our heart and minds even when circumstances don't make sense. This is the peace that we're talking about at Oath Garden Flower Shop. This is the peace that we strive to give in our devotionals and even in our flowers. Peace shouldn't be only circumstantial, right? Peace should be, above all, consistent in one's life, because that's how you regulate your nervous system. That's how you don't pull out your hair. Like it's how you peacefully live and go out into the world and be a blessing. Devotionals on our website, and I'll link them in the description box below if you want to check them out and learn more about this peace that surpasses all understanding, really. It makes no sense, but that's the crazy thing about God's peace, and that's why it's so important to have. Get a self-care item in this bag, right? This is our velvet brown bags that we put all of our self-care items in. So you're gonna get a candle or a soap inside this bag, so it's gonna probably, if it can, stay. Brown ribbon that we wrap all of our arrangements with. Kale Card. I love these Kale Cards because it gives really great instructions. So it says right here, your peace blooms here, and it tells you exactly how to take care of them, right? It says refill with ice cold water every 2 days, trim stems at an angle to refresh energy, and then keep out of heat, chaos, or direct sunlight, right? So a little pun in there, but it's very cute, very kind. And it says these aren't just flowers, because they aren't, right? This is your soft reset. So you can tag us at our Instagram, and then you also have our QR codes and scan to get like a flower guide about how to take care of your flowers. And then you can also try out our floral personality quiz, in which we went viral for, so you can always check that out and see what kind of self-care concepts. If you like the Enneagram, if you like the 16 personality test, it goes along with it beautifully. So if you want to check it out, you can. I'm going to link everything in the description box for you, but if you guys like what you see, want to learn more, or just want some flowers, you can go ahead and look up Oath Garden Flower Shop, and we can do that for you. because all of our flowers are scientifically designed for peace. I think next time I might show you guys the blueprints of all of our flower arrangements that we don't just create, because this one was a fun creative piece, but all the flower shops that we sell on our website are all scientifically designed for peace, so we might go over that in the future videos. But thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.